Hi there, this is Kelly on. Welcome to Kels Driving School. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. And here I'm going to show you a bit more now on your driving if you haven't seen as much as you may have seen before. Okay, today I'm going to talk to you now about the test day, man, the driving test day. I have mentioned this in the beginning, but I want to show you now a clip that I did many years ago of how to prepare for the test. Right, obviously things have moved on since then, but things are pretty much the same. So anything that's been missed out or what's happening today, I will let you know. But yeah, have a watch of this and we'll take it from there. I'd like to talk to you now on some coaching motivational tips, some things that would help you when doing your driving test. It obviously is a very nerve-wracking time, as you would have seen the footage of Ed doing his test, and I spoke about your nerves, how obviously not to allow your nerves to get on top of you, and there's some examples I would give. You would want to see the examiner as a person that's going to be assessing what you're doing. When you go there, you need to see it as you're going there to pick up your driving certificate. So if you've seen the film Driving Miss Daisy, of which there is two older people, of which there's a chauffeur, he would drive the woman around anywhere she'd want to go, he would actually take her there. If it's to the town or wants to park up, and they'll have a really good, great fun time in the car. That's exactly the same way how you want to see it with the examiner. You want to see it as they're there to speak with you, which they are. They would ask you what you do in life, what you study, and you would answer back. If you were not comfortable with this, then you would say, okay, fine. If you could, you just in your own subtle way to say to them, I'd rather you not say anything as I'm about to do something. But they're there to actually be a help to you. So when you do your test, how you want to see it is your instructor has been through everything with you, and he's the person that has helped you, he's the person that has shaped you. So when you now go to do your driving test, you now have an examiner to actually see what the instructor has done with you. So it's really a test for the instructor and not for yourself. So when you go to do the driving test, see it as you are going there to pick up your certificate. You're not going there for another person to literally show you or tell you how to drive. That's not the case. So there's just a few tips for you that will actually help you to pass your test. Another additional note about the driving test. Do make sure that you have a mock test or a few mock tests before you do your driving test, yeah? So what we're talking about is this, is going into the area, discovering the area, yeah? Look at the big roundabouts, the dual carriageways, maybe motorways, because now they actually have introduced this, yeah? So it's possible that they can bring you onto, or as though you're about to join a motorway, and then you might come off afterwards. Ensure that you do get to know the area, wherever you live, yeah, and then do these mock tests and learn from these mock tests, and then after that you're now looking to do your driving test with your instructor in aiding you or taking you there. Obviously now you're with the examiner. Your instructor should give you some feedback before you do your driving test. So maybe it might be a thing where you're having issues with checking your mirrors, like maybe you should check your mirrors every 5-10 seconds. It could be the timing of your signals, it could be your speed. He should be giving you feedback and telling you where it's possible that you might not get through because of these lists of items. And don't take it negatively. He or she is just trying to give you some feedback and good advice for you to ensure that when you do go on your test, you are focused on what you're doing. And as I mentioned before, is that when you're doing your driving test, are you going there to drive to pass your test, or are you going there to drive for safety? You need to make sure that you're looking at the speed limits, you're looking at the signs, that you're looking at the other road users around you as you approach roundabouts, T-junctions, pedestrian crossings especially. Are you observing these things? Because if you go in there in the mind of passing your test, you're going to be like this. But if you're open to driving safely, you'll be like that. I'll give you a good example. When I went to do my very first driving test, I was like, yeah, I want to do this, yeah? My instructor was fantastic, was brilliant, he taught me well. The thing is that I was going towards a pedestrian crossing. What happened to me? There was this lady,
that I wasn't too sure if she was going to cross the road or not. And there was a car right behind me, sitting right behind me, and I was very nervous about the situation here. And this lady wasn't too sure, was she going to cross? Are you going to cross or not? And all of a sudden she wants to cross, and I thought, well, she's on that side of the road, so I should be able to make it. So I literally went for it. An examiner braked the car. Literally, there was everybody around us. There's lots of people on the road. It was so embarrassing. Honestly, it felt like a movie. It was epic. And I was like, oh my God. Literally, I was like that. And then I was only, I 1 minute away from the test center. I ended up there, and the examiner said to me, you drove very well, but you didn't get through. And you can imagine how devastated I was. And as you can see, I'm an animated person, so you can imagine how I was. Oh my gosh, I don't believe this. He got out of the car and he walked away. Okay, now, how was I going to approach my second test? I booked it straight away, a month later. Now, my instructor didn't have to tell me this. I said this to myself. I wasn't going to drive to pass the test this time. I was driving for safety. So listen to this. I'm now with this examiner. This particular examiner was very jovial. My first one's a bit not so jovial. I'd say maybe a little bit grumpy. Yeah. This one was jovial. Nice guy. Yeah, he's great. We had a great time. We had a lovely, great time in the car. Okay. There was this moment now where we're now approaching this side road. He said to me he wants me to turn left. There's this man that wants to turn right into the road that we're going to. So I left his right, and there's a cyclist right beside me. I can see in my wing mirror. And the examiner sees this, I see this, everyone sees this. It's now become an epic moment of what's going to happen here. Okay? Now, because I'm driving for safety, I see there's a cyclist beside me. I'm thinking I'm going to need to accommodate for the cyclist. The examiner said to me, and I tell you, it went completely quiet. Yeah, you could have dropped a pin. We're having a good laugh, but now it was totally quiet. You could have dropped a pin, you would have heard it. The examiner said to me that when he saw this was happening, he actually started covering the pedals, just in case something was to happen. What I did, I checked my middle mirror, checked my left mirror, middle mirror, left mirror signal, your Mirrors Signal Manoeuvre routine. I started to do my progressive braking, slowed it down, went into second gear, being at the speed of 10 to 15 mph. What I did was I checked my middle mirror, checked my left mirror, gave a signal, did my progressive braking. I saw that I needed to go into first gear, not second gear, because normally you'd use second gear to go into the road. Slowed that down, went into first gear, allowed the cyclist to go. I then went into the road, and then I then continued. The examiner said to me, when it happened, he went, oh, phew. The person now that wanted to turn right almost smacks into him. I don't know how we managed to see this, but it's like maybe we saw mirrors or something. It's like, it was as though we actually saw it all happening. Okay, so we were now no longer part of this issue or this problem. Because I slowed down and made those changes, I then went into the road, and the cyclist was riding like it was like a Sunday morning or afternoon or something. Like he's just free to the world. Yeah, he's now almost had an accident with this man, wants to turn to the road. They now have this big fiasco behind us, and we were like, bye, and we continued. What's the point I'm making is this, is that drive for safety. Do not go in the mind of wanting to pass the test, because you'll miss everything out. But as soon as you drive for safety, everything opens up and you become like